Man, just got going. I think Buddy hit a big three in overtime. Andrew got a steal. I was due to make 1 3 today. So, once that went in, that kind of got me going. And guys just trusted me. It's a big thing here. You know, my teammates, guys that aren't playing, coaches, front office, they trust me to, close games. So, just gives me confidence to go out there, and keep trucking and trying to, get one to fall and win the game.
Is there anything in your head of we shouldn't be in overtime at this? We were doing so well in the first half. We got to get this one done for you.
Yeah, I mean, you can't. I guess you can't go into it like that. I mean, listen, you got to respect everybody at the end of the day. Like, we're all NBA players. It doesn't matter records. They got a lot of young, up-and-coming guys in this league. Eventually they'll get it to click, but their record isn't, I don't think, is a reflection of the talent over there. There's so much talent in this league. So I think frustrated. You don't want to be in overtime, but, like, if I go in there and I just think about the fourth the whole time, I'm not going to be able to have that overtime performance. So, it was just, get to the next one. I think guys came together like, let's win this game. Let's get some stops. Allowed us to win the game.
You typically credit your teammates on big assist nights. Career high for you tonight. What did you see in passing angles, the Rockets defense that allowed you to do that?
Man, I just, early in the game, we were getting a lot of stops, like steals and stuff, and getting me the outlets, and I was just finding guys. And then me and Myles kind of got going in the pick and roll. They switched it up a little bit and put Jay Sean on Myles at the 5 so they could switch stuff, which allowed less passing angles and things for me. So that's why assists kind of slowed down there, as the game went on. But, man, I think guys are just making shots. Guys are cutting. Guys are reading me, and making shots. There's no such thing as assists if guys aren't making shots. So just trying to share the wealth, get guys the ball, just trying to play right. I would blame Buddy for not having 20, but we'll get there eventually.
Last one from me. When Ben hit the floor, what were you thinking and feeling in that moment?
Yeah, obviously it's a scary moment. Don't want to see your teammates go down like that. But I was just, I'm not part of the medical staff, so I'm trying to think what could I do to help. I think everybody, the guys helped him get off the floor. I haven't heard what's going on yet. I just seen him in the back. Praying that everything is good with him and that he's healthy for us. But it's just about trying to regroup and understand it's the next man up mentality. Obviously, you guys know Ben brings a lot to the table for us, getting downhill, getting to the free throw line. He does a lot of good things for us. So his next man up mentality and kind of, sharing that with the guys. Like, all right, somebody's got to step up, tonight for us to win this game. So, I would say that's the biggest thing is just trying to regroup the unit, let our medical staff take care of Ben. Praying if everything goes right for him. Hopefully it's just a ankle sprain and he can get back soon.
I guess to keep harping on the same point of the fourth to the overtime. I mean, what did go wrong? I guess in the fourth, and what was sort of said, I guess, in between the fourth and overtime to kind of just get everybody's mind right.
Yeah. Well, they went to the free throw line. It felt like every play in the third quarter. We didn't get any stops. It felt like in that third quarter, second half. Kept going to the free throw line. And I say, the way this league works, man, you let a team hang around forever, eventually it's going to come back to bite you. And so, Jabari hits that fadeaway. I mean, amazing, tough shot, but we shouldn't have been in that situation to begin with. I had a couple bad possessions offensively, and that allowed leak outs and stuff for them. I got to be better at closing the game offensively. That was allowing them to get run outs and things like that. But we were fouling too much, putting them at the free throw line. It felt like that impacted us. And, I mean, they're one of the best offensive rebound. I think they're the best offensive rebounding team in the NBA. So they affected the game that way as well. But it just came down to buckling down and who was going to get enough stops down the stretch. And we were able to do that. I think kudos to, I think Andrew had a big steal. We had guys in the right spots. Jalen with some big rebounds in overtime. Which had a lot of different guys step up.
As you mentioned, as far as them getting to the line and whatnot, they end up with 82 in the paint. Just how, obviously there's a lot of talent over there, but how much does that number stand out to you guys as, if something's going to be better there defensively?
Yeah, I mean, that's ugly. I mean, I don't got no reasoning for that. I mean, they come in, they crash the glass offensively, like I alluded to earlier. A lot of second chance points. They have 23. Yeah, that's a lot. And they're just getting downhill, and I think a lot of we had some turnovers allowing them to get in transition. They got a lot of young guys willing to run. They play fast just like we do, so allowing them to get in the paint. and we should have done a better job of being in to get out. How many threes they make tonight? They only made 6 threes tonight, so we should have done a better job being in to get out, forcing them to make jump shots. We weren't able to do that tonight, but it's not pretty, but we just want to figure out a way to win.
You guys will often foul up 3. Was that given any consideration with 7 seconds left?
Yeah, I think we talked about it. I think we wanted to. I think the way Jabari caught the ball and the way he shoots so quick, I think just in a spur of the moment, didn't want to foul a three-point shooter. I mean, at the end of the day, he made a tough shot. So we tried to respond the right way. I thought Coach ran a good play there to force for us to respond the right way. Foul or not, I don't really know. I probably lost the ball. Jay Sean did say he fouled me, though, so when I go back and watch, we'll see. But maybe. But just glad we closed it in overtime.
And then you've been in a position a lot now where fourth quarter, overtime, whatever it is, that you said your team needs you. Do you feel that pressure? Do you like that pressure? Or is it now something you're used to at this point?
Yeah, it ain't pressure. It's just basketball. Just understanding that, guys expect me to make plays. That's what I'm here for. The keys to close games is ran through me. Coach gives me a lot of freedom to run what I want and make shots and get guys the ball and make plays. So that's not pressure at all. I mean, it's understanding, where I am in life right now, where I am as a basketball player, and trying to get better at that. And it's a trial and error. There's some games where it looks really, really good. And there's some games like tonight where it was rough until overtime. And so it's just figuring it out. And that's part of the ebbs and flows of the NBA and the growth of me as a basketball player, figuring out how to close games the right way and win games for us when it's close like that. But it's just part of my maturation as an NBA player and as the point guard of this organization. So, I love that. I love that. That expectation for me. I love that. I mean, if you told a little kid Tyrese that he's expected to make game winners, he'd be like, let's do it. So I'm not one to shy away from that.
Just being aggressive. He's just a confident player, man. I think that he and we all have a lot of belief in him, in those moments and whatnot. He wants to be the one to take the shot, and he's proven, night in, night out, he can do that. And I'm just happy that we got the win. It was a up and down game. You play against a young team like that to get that confidence. Sometimes it's tough to overcome that, but we got done. We had to get done.
You guys were doing great early and then did great in overtime. But what kind of changed in the middle that let them get back into it before you put it away?
They hit some shots. They had some good energy going, and it was infectious. And they were able to kind of get themselves rolling. So it happens. From time to time, they got on a run, and thankfully we were able to withstand it.
Tyrese was just talking about his assist. He mentioned you. When he's passing that well, how easy does that make the game for someone like you?
Very easy. He just he does a great job of drawing my man and then making the pass at the last second, or just when I'm running the floor in transition, finding me, or just last second no look passes and whatnot. I think I've developed enough synergy with him, throughout the season to know when the ball is coming to me, and I think that's something that it didn't take too long to get going, but not having the chance to play with him last year, it was a little tough. But I've watched a lot of film on him. I've watched what he plays, and I think we picked up on it very quickly.
But beyond even just Tyrese, what impressed you about just how the whole team reacted to how that fourth quarter went, and just to be able to turn around? I guess it had more field goals in the overtime than you had in the fourth.
I think overall I was impressed with our poise, especially into the overtime period. I think when Tyrese is hot and we read the game, got on the ball, and just let him do what he does. But overall, just down the stretch, I was kind of just impressed with our poise. When they were making big shots or they were making big plays, I don't think we were ever flustered. We were just like, it happens. Just keep going, move on to the next play.
I guess the one number that kind of stands out, 82 in the paint they scored. I mean, just what did you see there? What bothered you, I guess, about just how they were able to score around the rim?
I think a lot of that came with second chance points, offensive rebounds. I mean, obviously they got some guys that are slashers and get downhill. But I think for the most part, they won the hustle stats, and that's something that we strive to do. Night in and night out is win that category, and I think that's something that got us in tonight. So, tip your cap to them. They're a young team that's on the rise, and they look better than the first couple times we played them. So, it's just how the league goes.
Last one from me. Just what goes through your mind when you see Ben go down?
I actually didn't see it. I was in the back, but when I came back, I saw him, getting helped off the floor, and it's part of the game. It's an unfortunate part of the game. For him, I don't think he's been healthy. I think every game this season. So I know he's gonna be a lot harder on himself than I think that he's gonna be. Let me explain that. I think that him as a young player having all this playing time, playing so good, him having to watch is going to be tough for him. But I also think it's going to be good for him. He'll be able to just evaluate the game and whatnot. But, we're praying for a quick recovery for him. And, we got one of the best medical staffs out there. So, we'll see him back soon.
Myles, what are the unique challenges when facing a team that doesn't have many wins and it's a young group? As a team, maybe you're unfamiliar with a lot of these guys just because they're new to the league.
I think you have a tendency to relax when you play teams like this. It's just, it's second nature that comes with that. But, when you step in between them lines, a lot of that goes out the window. You just go out there and compete in the hoop. There's no surprises in this league. They've won 2 out of their last 3 games, or 2 of the last 4 now, I guess. They beat a San Antonio team that beat us, so you can never really just look at the record. I think players go out there and try to play. So whatever happens, happens.
And then as you watch behind you where Jalen plays and Isaiah plays, what's kind of your general advice that you've given to them throughout this last couple of months?
The hardest part about what they're going through is that you just never know when you're going to be inserted into the lineup. For me, I'm obviously going to play a bulk of the minutes at the center position, but some games are going to be Isaiah, and then some games are going to be Sticks. And then you see games tonight, like Isaiah played, 2-3 quarters, and Sticks finished the game. Like, you got to keep your mind into the game. And I feel like that's one of the biggest things they got to be able to take and roll with. But you got to give credit to both of them. They get in every day and get their work in. I see both of them actually, they just go out there, they do their development, they're in the weight room. And that's all you can ask out of a young player is to stay ready. You just never know what's going to happen or never know what matchups might determine, you being out there. So, I definitely tip my cap to them. It's tough being a younger player playing behind, a vet.
I think Ben's got a right ankle sprain. Not sure exactly how severe yet, but we'll know more in the next day or so.
Tyrese, career high in assists, scored a bunch of points in that overtime period. What impressed you about what he did down the stretch and how he led the offense in this game?
Well, he took over the game, and in the overtime, and he certainly has demonstrated that is what he's about. He loves those moments very much, the way Reggie Miller loved those moments, and he doesn't get discouraged if some things during the game don't go exactly his way. He keeps playing, and he stays aggressive, and he has great confidence, and so that gives the team great confidence. So he was tremendous. I mean, he was really just amazing in the overtime. Nembhard had a great game. He hit a couple of big-time timely threes throughout the game, and defensively, made a couple of major plays in the overtime to help us get a cushion. And a lot of other guys really contributed too. So, it's going to look different out there without Ben in this game, and I certainly don't believe he'll play either of the Detroit games. So, other guys will have to be ready tonight. Once again, Jalen Smith kept himself very much ready, and he came in and played a pivotal role as well. And so I've been real impressed with him.
Jordan Nwora made some impressive plays again in this game. Where did things kind of start clicking for him? Because it feels like since the road trip started, he's been huge in a couple games for you guys.
Well, I mean, things started clicking, I think, when he got here and got an elevated opportunity in a different situation, and he does some very unique things for a guy that plays the 4 position. He puts it on the floor as a playmaker. He can pass it. He's got length. He finishes things at the rim. He dunks the ball. He makes threes. He can make floaters. And defensively, I think after the last couple of games, we all got to concentrate more at that end. But he's shown some positive signs there as well. So this is really a great opportunity for him.
Just beyond Tyrese, I mean, how did you see just the whole team react collectively to just how things went in the fourth to respond the way they did in the overtime? You obviously spend scored more in overtime than you did in the fourth quarter. How did you kind of just see the switch happen there?
Well, NBA games are up and down, you know. There's a lot of runs. Sometimes you hit dry spells. And I thought the key to the game was the second quarter where we lost an 18-point lead. You know, we just pissed it away. And, you know, we were running low on timeouts because I'd taken an additional one in the first quarter, and then when Ben's injury happened, we were forced to take another one. So I couldn't stop the clock in the second quarter. And so I got to look at that period of the game and see, you know, what I can do, you know, on the sideline to help us through that situation better. And look, you know, they went to a smaller lineup during that stretch. They figured some things out. They started attacking the basket. You know, they were living on the free throw line, and, you know, so it was Russian roulette down the stretch. And Smith hit a hellacious shot to put him in overtime, and then, you know, we had to come up big, and Ty did on offense, and Nembhard did on defense, and Buddy hit an enormous shot too. And again, you know, Jalen Smith was really big in this game. And you know, you look at the statistics of the game. You know, Aaron Nesmith had a modest game statistically, but he's plus 20 on the floor. And so, you know, he had some strong impact, and his 7 rebounds, many of his 7 rebounds were traffic rebounds that were very timely.
They got 82 in the paint. You were talking about them attacking the basket. Just how much does that stand out? Where did you kind of see breakdowns on your end? Obviously, they got a lot of athletes that can attack and get to the rim, and they got some turnovers and whatnot. But, I mean, where did you kind of see some breakdowns on your end?
Well, some loose offense in the second quarter got them going, led to some transition and rim attack opportunities that, you know, got them into the bonus, got them to the free throw line, and got them believing. And so, you know, when you're developing, you know, a system and a culture, you know, you want part of it is the game management aspect of it. It's not just playing fast. You know, that can't be the only thing that we're doing. We've got to manage turnovers. We've got to manage, you know, we've got to rebound the ball better. And so, yeah, we'll look at all that stuff, and we'll keep working at fixing it.
Rick, what stands out to you about not only Tyrese embracing those late game situations, but how quickly he's just taken over that and not felt the pressure, he said?
Well, you know, really a lot of this was the work he put in during the last summer. You know, he really worked at getting to the basket more and having a greater balance of rim attack and three. You know, last year a lot of the time he relied on the three, and really went into the summer wanting to figure out ways to develop footwork to put more pressure on the rim. And so he's created a balance. Now, you know, in the overtime, it was a couple of hellacious threes off step backs, and he got hot. And when you get hot, you ride that, you know. What happened to us during the course of the game was, you know, Houston wants to play fast. We want to play fast. And too many of our possessions were non-paint touch jump shots. And the ones that were where we got into the paint and created a bigger problem led to better shots that were going in more frequently. So, again, that's, you know, I gotta help the team managing those situations. But, you know, Tyrese is a great player. And, you know, our big edge in this game was you know, what he does and what he does for us. So it was a great game. I mean, this is entertaining stuff. I mean, I don't know how you beat this. You know, I mean, really, the last couple games have been wildly entertaining games. But we got to work at getting more rebounds and more stops. You know, when you lose the rebound battle 58-42, that's a lot. It's too many, and we're capable of better than that.
A shot in regulation, was that kind of what you were looking for down the stretch with him?
I haven't looked at it yet, but what I heard was that there was some pretty significant contact and a foul could have been called, but I haven't seen it yet. And, I'm not going to go ballistic up here.
Tell Tyrese to pass the ball. Maybe he'd pass it earlier. I really had to go to struggles in the overtime, but we just gotta figure it out. This team, we just, we've been so together all season. We've been lately figuring it out, and we didn't close it how we want to. We had a chance to foul. Aaron, we're not better defenders. We had a burn call where you quick to foul, and I think he saw Jabari going up to shoot the ball, and he feel like he didn't have a chance to foul him right there. And but Tyrese was able to make some plays in this overtime. He came up big. His 3 balls didn't drop him, but he was able to get down the rim and make plays. And he had 19 assists. I see him blame me for the 20 assists, but I'll take that blame. The game works out in a lot of favor. But hats off, he had a great game closing the game. I think he's been doing a good job closing the game for us. And guys like Sticks coming along, Myles in there in the fourth quarter, but Sticks playing tremendously. And he's just playing with a serious amount of confidence right now. And I'm happy to see him just staying ready and just waiting and being an impact for us in this numbers call.
You obviously know Tyrese has a good mentality for this, but he was 0 for 7 from 3 and comes in and drills a couple in overtime.
Yeah, you talk he's a better shooter than me, and I tell him he's not a better shooter than me. That's what happens when you tell me he's a better shooter than me. No,
you go 0 for 7, yeah.
No, but he works hard in his game. He put a lot of pressure on himself, night in, night out. And he wants to take that last shot. The lucky thing I give him that last shot, but he's our best player. Wherever we go, he goes. And like I said, we gonna live and die with whatever shots he took at the end or whoever plays. He will always make the right play. And I feel like any coach in the league would like to put the ball in his hands to make the right play, and he's gonna do that because he's a great decision maker.
What stood out to you about Jordan in his 1 month or so with you guys now?
He's came in ready. He's an aggressive scorer. Obviously being traded, that human element hits. Okay, being traded. Not saying another team didn't want him, but move on to another young team that is hungry, and he's just trying to make his impact, and he's doing a tremendous job. I think that he's figuring out the guys now. Of course, being a new guy is hard, and I think he's surrounded like a lot of guys with great personalities, great coaching staff, and everybody likes each other. And he's figuring it out, and that's good. And he knows he's gonna get the ball. And as a scorer, you wonder how you can get the ball, but you just gotta be patient and stay aggressive too as you can. And he knows how to play the game, and he's ready.
You and Tyrese have a competition for everything, basically.
Nah, I just think that we just have personalities that makes us in the competition, and we're not afraid to talk and say things that I think people tend not to say. And we're more blunt with a lot of stuff. So that's what makes it so competitive, and that's why everything is competitive. But we love each other. But yes, when we out shooting drills and stuff that we make it competitive, and that's what fun though. That's what friends do and competitors do. We make it fun of each other, but it's no hate or nothing towards each other. We all happy for each other's success.
Like I said, you gotta always be ready and expect the unexpected in this league. You never know. Coach's decision can change on the fly, and at the end of the day, we all professionals, so you just gotta be ready whenever the number's called.
Being out there, seeing up close what Tyrese was doing in overtime, what impressed you about the totality of that last 5 minutes from him?
It's amazing. I mean, Ty can take over a game at any point in time. We all know that. He was an all-star for a reason, and pretty much, like I said, it's no shock to us when he goes for 10 straight points in a row, So, I mean, at the end of the day, that's just something we know that he knows how to do, put the ball in the basket.
In those moments, is it you just thinking, set a screen, get out of the way, go where he tells you? How do you kind of process your role when he's cooking like that?
Pretty much just, obviously, he's the point guard of the team, so obviously he's the brain, If he tells me to come up set a screen, I come up set a screen. If he shoots it, I'm either going for offensive rebound or I'm getting back. So, I mean, at the end of the day, I'm just out there just playing my game, When they need me set screens, need me rebound, that's what I do.
Obviously, you guys had a rough fourth quarter as a team, basically. I think, and you ended up scoring more points in overtime than you did in the fourth quarter. I mean, how did you guys just collect yourselves? I guess after Jabari hits that 3 to tie it, just what did you guys kind of do to put that fourth quarter past you and move on?
Pretty much just to focus in and lock in, lock in to try to execute to our highest ability and making sure that we, obviously overtime is either make or break the teams, and obviously we wanted to win so bad that we was truly focused and locked in to that point, to the point that we executed at a high ability.
Gets mad at me.
Anyway,
For no reason.
they were obviously able to get a lot of buckets, at the rim for a lot of the game. You guys seemed like you were able to stop that a little bit in the overtime. How did you feel like you guys reacted or responded, I guess, throughout the game and got better at just keeping them from getting buckets at the rim?
Pretty much. I mean, obviously we knew the scouting report coming in. We know that they're young, athletic. A lot of guys that's bouncy around the rim, and pretty much. I mean, obviously they got into the paint throughout the game, but obviously, like I said, in the overtime we had to lock in more. And at that end of the time, it was a foot race to who wanted to win the most. And I feel as though that's when we turned up our level a notch.
Mr. Jalen Smith, didn't play in the first half, but second half they call your name. What was that like? How you were able to adjust? How you were come in and make an immediate impact for the team?
Just being a professional. That's all it is. Being professional, being ready when your number's called.
I like that. Good job, Sticks.